Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
If you like racism and puppets,
what did I say on my brand new LetterBoxd?
pretty impressive though that she buried herself alive and got out.
So guys, let's start with what we've been watching.
All right.
Well, Uri, let's start with you. Okay, so guys, I watched the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Wow.
Nice. And in my review, I said it feels like a plane movie, and I watched it on a plane.
That's a very accurate statement. It's like just a fun movie overall.
Yeah, there's no plot to it really.
Yeah, they went scriptless, you know?
Yeah. And so it just, it felt kind of like a mid movie, I can see why gamers.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really fun movie if you're a Mario.
It's a very much point at the screen and say, "Oh my God, it's Mario."
Yeah,
rather
dude.
than
when you saw Chunky Kong in the background,
Yeah, but it's fine. Illumination, they make plane movies. Beck said this.
yeah. No, Aiden said. I saw Aiden.
I watched Sing on a Plane.
You watched Sing on a Plane? Yeah.
That's the most plane movie ever.
That is.
Yeah,
But he says.
but I mean, it's like, the characters were fine. Chris Pratt did an okay job.
Wow.
Charlie Day was pretty good.
I think Charlie Day is pretty funny.
Yeah. I
wonder what else he's in.
I wonder what else Chris Pratt is on.
You know another movie that's mid and Chris Pratt is in? Garfield!
We watched Garfield, guys.
Garfield previews night at 9:20 p.m.
Nobody else was in the theater.
Aiden had to leave his class early.
I left my class early, and there were people that are like, "Are you leaving?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go see Garfield." They're like, "Oh my God, I love that for you."
Wow.
Yeah, they.
Nobody likes the class.
It's really
Okay, so
boring.
let's first talk about we show up to the theater at like 9:20 p.m.
Well, no, we show up at like 9:50 without Nicola.
We show up at
8:50.
9. Nicola shows up at 9:20.
I showed up at 9:15.
A guy's all like, Aiden, you're my dude,
Yeah,
I thought he was waving at me for a second.
I also thought he was waving at you, but that's why I was like, because he was like, "Oh, look who showed up," because he was referring to me.
Yeah.
And I turned it back after a second, so I think I played it off as like it meant it was like a joke.
Oh, yeah.
than me forgetting who the guy was. So I turned it back and I'm like, yeah, because I thought it was the guy that Beck knows who works in the theater.
Yeah.
But
It's me.
But it was a guy that I spoke to for like 30 minutes before I watched the Marvels.
I was so worried
Because I came late to the Marvels and waited till the next showing, which was like 30 minutes later. So I just like talked with that guy.
Yeah.
So
That was like back in November. Though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
think it's because I had the Knuff hoodie.
Yeah.
People remember me because of the Knuff hoodie. I had one of my professors from my first quarter of college come into where I work, and like her and her husband were like, "Oh my God, it's the guy with the Knuff hoodie."
so true.
Like that's how I identify.
That's your blue jacket.
That's
you know?
my blue jacket. It's the Knuff hoodie. Yeah. So that was the start of it.
And then so the movie happened, and
We get in the theater.
no one cares about what happened in the actual.
Well,
movie.
not there yet.
No.
We
So
get to the theaters, and nobody is in the theater
0 people.
at all.
And we're kind of nervous because we walk in at like 9:20. And we're like, is someone gonna walk in while we're talking with each other? Because that'd be very awkward. So we keep having to peek over in the previews anytime there's a slight noise
Yeah.
to make sure no one else is coming into the theater. But
But let's talk about what's the actual plot of the movie.
it eventually starts, and
Can I sum up this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Garfield is kidnapped by this person who is mad at
Thanks.
Garfield's dad. Garfield's dad, him and Odie, must go to the Lactose Farms factory, break in, and get the milk. They get help from this bull named Otto who wants to make out with this cow. Then they do it. But then, actually, his dad betrays them, and then actually, he wasn't betraying them, and then Garfield goes to save him, and the day is saved, and that's the whole movie, right?
okay, yes,
I didn't miss out anything.
John.
okay,
No one cares about John.
The funniest thing for me was the villain is like, she walks in and she's like, I've kidnapped Garfield, haha, but I don't want to kill him. Or Garfield, Garfield's dad, and they're like, but I don't want to kill him. I need him to steal this milk. And then he steals milk, and like, I don't give a fuck about the milk. I just want to kill his dad. You could have killed him. You had him right there in the first act. Why don't you have him go do the fucking milk heist?
There was a lot of unnecessariness in this movie. Quite like the whole movie was unnecessary, quite frankly.
Yeah.
What did I say on my brand new letterbox?
Whoa,
Follow Nicola Chris, but now with an I.
NIKOLA_KRIS.
KRIS.
2 stars. This movie felt like it was made without Garfield, and then they realized they could get extra money if they made the characters Garfield. Fun movie to watch, but do not go in with high expectations. Many of the jokes did not land, and overall was not very funny.
So me and
Damn,
Nicola
that you just dropped a stellar review right there.
Me and Nicola gave it 2 stars. Aiden and Uri both gave it 2.5.
I gave it one more like half point because I thought it was the experience of it, but also it wasn't.
It was animated really well.
It wasn't bad.
It was fine. I feel like it's not like a terrible movie. It's just more a fine movie. A 5-year-old might like.
And so that makes two movie. No, is it two? Is it not? It may be 2 movies that me and Uri have both watched that share the same score on Letterboxd between us. Me and Uri both gave it a 2.5 stars. And the other thing that we both share is Baby J by John Mulaney. We both gave it a 4 stars. Why don't you talk about it?
Okay.
Last when I talked about it, we were in this room. So now you get to talk about it.
Wow, guys, like symmetry, it rhymes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I was like, I was on the plane. I was like, okay, what can I watch on Netflix?
Ricky's the Nicky.
What can I watch on Netflix as before like the plane takes off because it was like a delay or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, there's like what 40-minute special or by like John Mulaney and like Baby J. I was thinking, okay, kind of interesting. It's funny because I see a lot of these clips from Baby J, but now
I get so many.
Baby J is a very clippable one.
Yeah, and so I'm like thinking, I'll watch it, and so I actually watched it because we've heard about John Mulaney in the news with the addiction things, and the rehab.
We've all heard of that.
I did not see
You
that,
didn't?
No,
but I've seen the clips.
We've all heard it.
Oh well, it was like 2020 when it like all revealed or something, and but I was like finally get the backstory. It was really because it was like it's all about his addiction and like him like he tells like the story in kind of a non-chronological way where it goes like where he talks about like with the intervention, but then he kind of like flashbacks in a way like verbally like he tells like a story of him like doing something like for addiction like he pays for money for a watch that he pays like $12,000 for. And then he pawns it off and gets only like $6,000
because he goes through his agent. He's like, "Hey, agent, don't let me spend any money unless I go through you and tell you what it's for."
Got it.
And so he can't just be like, "Hey, agent, I'm buying drugs." He's like, "Agent, I'm gonna buy a watch," and then he pawns off the watch for like half the price.
That's kind of just really stupid.
Well, you wanted the crack, dude.
Okay, yeah.
And so I feel like
that's like from Jojo.
and so like it like elevates like kind of darkness and comedy kind of like at its peak level I would say because like he says
I mean,
like,
you
really,
also watched another peak dark comedy, you know?
But he does like really well like kind of like bring a lightheartedness to his stories.
I think like, I mean, I think it's over exaggerated, but like in like telling these like definitely real scenarios in like this way, like the one where he tries to get drugs by saying that he's when he goes on airplanes he's scared and then accidentally gets his prostate checked.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
And he does like a
it's comedy, Nicholas.
He does a really funny thing where he's all like, he says, there's many.
I'm sorry.
He does this thing where he's all like, he says, there's a lot of drug dealers who turn innocent people into drug addicts, but I think I might be the first drug addict to turn my friend into a drug dealer. Where he's like, he's like in counseling, they say, you gotta stop texting anybody who like got you drugs or anything. So he like texts this guy, and like the guy was all like, "I'm sober now, I can't do this." And the guy's all like, "That's so great for you," and like, but I'm like an artist, and like
Drugs are my art.
No, and then John Mulaney's like,
So true.
how did we meet exactly? I said, I don't know, but I got these drugs because I didn't want you to get them off the street. So he made a drug dealer. And it was very funny. He also does this thing where it's like he tells you, don't do this, but if you do this, here's how you do it.
Yeah.
You go on WebMD, find like the doctor with the lowest rating. They need your business. And so you go to them and you just say, like, I am the doctor now. And you just use their computer and they'll give you like drugs if you just ask for them. Like, there's Dr. Michael, no last name. Just Dr. Michael.
He's like giving all these tips.
Yeah.
This is the one that makes him take his shirt off every time he comes in, right?
Yeah, yeah, and the doctors are all like, "Dude, it's okay." We're like,
What's about?
It's so funny.
I need to watch this.
it's very funny.
John Mulaney's really fun. It's like an hour.
Oh,
It's pretty short.
I thought it was like shorter than that. I thought it was like a short film.
No, it's
No, stand up. And
Oh.
I think I should get more to stand up because this was really funny.
Yeah.
I gotta watch more of his
My
stuff.
parents are
Yeah,
constantly
watch
watching.
I really like
stand-ups.
Jeff Dunham. If you like racism and puppets, watch Jeff Dunham. Ahmed,
big
the
puppet.
dead terrorist, great character. Jose, the jalapeno on a stick, funny as hell.
But yeah,
One of the
no,
most racist characters.
I really like. Yeah,
Let me check a picture of both.
yeah, but I think I really like John Mulaney. Is like I might get more stand up.
I think I know a thing or two about stand up because my
Show the audience. Show the audience.
That's Jose.
Okay, so who wants to go next?
Okay, so Game of Thrones season 6. I think this is a really good season.
It is.
It is one of the seasons that I was able to binge in an entire week. So I think it was that and like season 4, the two ones I binged in a week. So I'm gonna again go through all the character arcs we have this season. Jon Snow, crazy arc. We end season 5. He dies, but he gets revived at like the end of episode 2, and I personally think they did the character revival really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like usually I think like reviving a dead character isn't like a really good like play, but I feel like they did it really well, and they also like they didn't have him like come back after like 5 seasons or something like that, where it was only really like 2 episodes. And
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
at some point, they need a Stark as a main character that they can't get rid of,
yeah,
And so like Jon Snow is like also like has a lot of prophecy to him, so they kind of
Yeah.
to stay alive.
So you have that. He basically teams up with Sansa, and Brienne finally joins Sansa. So it's kind of like the one where like all the Starks are getting back together to retake Winterfell, and I thought that was a really good arc for them this season. And then you end episode 9 of the season where they actually have the big battle, and they take back Winterfell from Ramsay, and they kill him. I thought that was a great plotline of the season. I was really engaged in it. It was really cool. And then the other arc we have is with the Lannisters. The main one here is with the the Seven. Basically, like this big like religious cult is like kind of gaining too much power over in the city. And then about like halfway through the season, they like basically gain full control of like the king, the queen, and like the entire kingdom. So in the second half, it's all about just like trying to take them down. And in the end, Cersei like basically nukes the entire like, or what do I call it, like religion building, like the church with everyone.
Dude, that's like a reference to Fallout New Vegas when you finish the Lonesome Road.
So she kills all of them in a giant like fire explosion, leaving basically only her and Tommen alive.
And then Tommen's all like, "My wife's
then
dead. I'm gonna
Tommen
get the fuck
takes
out
the
of here."
crown off, and then like the most nonchalantly just jumps out of the window. Like he does it so casually. It's
No
crazy.
hesitation. He's like,
Yeah,
"Well,
he just instantly just kills himself.
Yeah.
So now we end the
Cersei's
season.
queen.
Cersei is queen. All of her children are dead.
And the prophecy is being fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know, of Cersei, like, all your kids are dead, but, like, which brother is going to get to her, you know? Like, that's
Yeah.
part of the prophecy.
And then what else?
Daenerys.
Daenerys Targaryen. Now, her big thing is like finally like wrapping everything up she has in Slaver's Bay. She finally gets full control over Marine. She teams up with Tyrion. That happens near the end of the last season. She gets the entire Dothraki horde on her side. So now she has like 3 giant armies on her side. She gets the Greyjoy's ships that I'll talk about that following also. So basically she has all the stuff. She just killed all the masters of Slaver's Bay. So everything's resolved for her there. She's like, now I'm finally going to Westeros. And I feel like she does have the like one of the like best like arguments for being one of the main the main character of the show,
Yeah.
because it feels like her entire thing is like we start with her. She basically like has nothing, and then she gains all this power, and then now in like the final 2 seasons, she's sailing to Westeros to finally like retake the throne.
I would say so. Her, Jon Snow.
Yeah, both I think are good contenders for main.
You know you have main character when you come back from the dead.
Yeah, literally.
But so what's happening with Sam Tarly?
He is going to a library
Yeah.
and he steals a sword. That's it.
And yeah, and then she also had the guy who was helping Daenerys.
That guy who got the graystone.
The grayscale, yeah.
Yeah, he
gets
gets
kicked-
grayscale, and
gets
he's
kicked
like,
out.
"I'm gonna go find." Yeah, he gets kicked out. And he's like, "Never return." He returns. You came back here, but never return again. He gets kicked out. He comes back again.
Come on, Daenerys, please let me have.
Such a simp.
Jorah
bro.
Mormont, come on, Daenerys.
But then Daenerys is like, okay, you saved me for like a 3rd time. Go save yourself from this illness and then come back.
Yeah. And Tyrion's and Daenerys.
Yeah, Tyrion is like, I feel like he's really cool. Seeing him interact with like the whole Daenerys crew was really fun.
Yeah, and with a beard.
Yeah, literally, like, it's so funny because he has like this whole like charismatic talking personality, and he's talking with all the people with like the driest like humor in like the entire show, and it's so funny.
Yeah. And so Theon went back to
Theon, he escapes and he's like back to the Iron Islands, like everything's chill. His uncle comes back, he takes the throne, he has to run away again.
Yeah.
And then he basically is like teams up with Daenerys and is like, I'm gonna give you these ships so we can get to Westeros, and you need to help me reclaim the Iron Islands.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So now
What are your thoughts on Euron as a character? Because I find him boring as fuck.
that's the guy that killed.
His uncle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have only known him for 1 episode, so he doesn't really. I don't really like know him that much.
He's like an okay character, I would say. Like unfortunately, they're not gonna do a lot of interesting things with it.
Yeah,
I mean, the Iron Islands are not something I'm particularly interested in.
yeah, they kind of feel like something.
Yeah. But now you're leading up to the final 2 seasons back.
Yeah,
Now-
wait. Second, I think the last character I had to talk about, Arya Stark.
Now you know about the multiverse pie.
Yes. So, the one thing Aiden told me this season was there was something with a pie that is referenced in multiverses. So, I'm watching through the season. Arya Stark, her big thing is she's training with the multi-face guy. And she's doing all this stuff. And she eventually is like, okay, this is your final mission. You have to kill this actor lady. But she goes to kill the actor lady and is like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. So the guy sends the other girl that she's been training with to go kill her. But Arya is able to best her, kill her. She goes back. She steals the faces from the library. And then now she's kind of like this whole deadly assassin who can like do the face shifting thing. And then in the end, we have Walder Frey, who had this plot line here that did not matter at all. And she goes and Walder Frey is like eating a pie, and I'm like, I remember something about a pie.
Something about a pie.
And then he's like, where's my sons? And then the girl who's just standing next to him is like, oh, they're in the pie. And then the girl takes off her mask, and it's Arya Stark. And then she's like, I cooked your sons into this pie, and you just ate your sons. You killed my mom and my brother. And then she slits his throat and is like,
imagine, okay, that's a really cool thing, but imagine like her actually making the sons into the pie. That would be such like a funny thing. There's like, because like you can't put all the sons in the pie.
Yeah. And then does this happen in the start of season 7 or something, where she just kills? No, that's the start of season 7.
And so Jamie and Bronn, right?
They just go and they're like, we need to take River Run. And then they take River Run.
They take River Run, like, yeah. But yeah, no, it was a really good season, I would say. Like, it picks back from what season 6 did, and what Bran's also doing something.
Oh yeah, Bran, he's been training with the three-eyed
Raven, and they have the sass moment, hold the door.
Yeah, so and then
door.
They're like training there, but then he eventually goes into the dreams and he sees the White Walkers, and the White Walkers touch him in the dream, and then that tells him where he is. So the White Walkers attack the tree, so he has to escape. And then Hodor is going, and then we cut back to he's inside the thing, and he's talking with young Hodor, and then he says, "Hold the door," and then he falls down and he's saying, "Hold the door" all this time. But then it morphs into him saying Hodor while he's holding the door, and it's such an epic moment.
Hodor.
So, yeah. And now Bran is at Castle Black, and it's all about just he has the best claim to the North, I believe, from what people know right now.
Yeah.
Who's the other Stark son? Rickon? Dude.
He dies.
This guy.
He does not matter at all.
Every Stark, you can, name something cool that they've done and something cool about them. Rickon Stark, he gets taken prisoner, and it's like, I don't give a fuck about this guy. And then he dies.
Yeah, because now you didn't talk about one of the best episodes of TV ever, the Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards, yeah. That's such a fire episode.
So, Ramsay and Jon Snow, they have their big battle.
Yeah. That's a fire name, the Battle of the Bastards. The alliteration, and they're both, they both don't have a rightful claim to it, but, they're still fighting for it.
And, it's such a... it's such a cool battle, because you think John is a bad leader. He's losing.
He charges ahead of every single person, and he's ready to get charged down by 80 different people, but he's only saved
and
by...
then Sansa comes in with Littlefinger's Vale army.
Yeah.
And then Sansa does such a cool thing where she gets his dogs to...
Oh yeah, they fucking kill him.
Yeah. It's such a great season.
It is. Well, I think that's all I have to say about Game of Thrones.
Now Beck, I think you're probably gonna like the last 2 seasons, knowing you. You're probably I actually really like the last 2.
Okay, I feel like there's so much potential in these 2 seasons, because what I feel like has been happening is season 1, is every character started at the same point in Winterfell with them all meeting, and they all went off and did their separate plot lines. And we've seen them intersecting and all this throughout the rest of the seasons. But now we can all have them converge on one point and have all these characters meeting each other. I feel like it's going to be so cool.
Yeah. And who's going to have a better story than Brandon the Broken?
Yeah, so far.
Doesn't he have the best storyline?
I feel like you're building this up so much he's going to get randomly killed off screen or something.
Doesn't he have the best storyline, Bran the Broken?
Okay, but now
Nicola.
Game of Thrones season 6 done.
Nicola and Aiden.
Guys, we're done with Game of Thrones.
Okay, well. Okay.
Now.
We're doing some really important shit over here.
You guys were on Instagram Reels for like 10 minutes.
No, there was some funny shit there. There's a real heavy hitter. In the midst of all of it, there's a real good one that killed us. All right,
Okay.
Nico, what have you been watching?
All right.
No, I have to talk about something.
Okay, what do you have to say?
Back to Instagram.
All right. So, Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I have a third and a fourth free period.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? I'm going to do something because school's over. I don't have a lot of work.
Yep.
So I decide to bike 5 miles to the Shoreline movie theater
Real.
to watch a movie.
Why'd you just
Because
drive? Oh, wait a minute.
I asked Aiden, hey, do you want to see this movie with me? But he didn't want to see
I
it.
was also at work on Tuesday.
No, just wants you for your car.
Okay, so I go to a
Imagine,
2:30
like-
showing of If.
Why did you just drive yourself?
What?
Why did you just drive yourself?
I don't have a license
Why don't you have your license senior year? It's kind of embarrassing.
because I failed the permit test twice.
Failed it twice?
Yes.
Failed it one time.
So
Okay.
you still want to do it the third time?
So if
How did you fail the permit test?
If he
oh my god, let me talk about If, Nicola.
he didn't watch it.
So If
He didn't
follows
watch
the
it.
story. It starts. There's these two people, and they're both like one's in like 7th grade, one's in like 9th
He
grade.
didn't watch it. By the way.
And they're going and they're sitting at the school, and the guy walks up to the girl and is like, what are you reading? And then she's reading an episode guide for this TV show. It's called The Pink Opaque, and he's like, you know, I've seen preview trailers for that. It was really weird because
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds never showed up in the movie,
Wow, it's almost like you didn't watch it.
and there was no
Watch.
CGI.
Guys, I saw the TV glow.
Yeah,
I saw the TV glow.
And let me tell you something. This movie is so good. Like, it's my movie of the year.
Which now means we all have different movies of the year. Being
Over Dune
Civil
2.
War, I saw the movie Glow.
I saw the
Dune-
TV
Oh, I
Glow.
saw the TV Glow. Dune 2 and Ricky Stenicki.
Okay.
Which really kind of shows who we are as characters.
Okay.
As people.
But,
As characters.
okay, so the movie. So this happens, and they're both like, I like this show. And just like, oh, I haven't seen it, but like, you showed them the episode guide. And he's like, okay. But it goes on at 10:30, and my bedtime's at 10.
Oh man.
This is like, okay, this is like an A24 like psychological thriller, so it's like also like shot really well.
Yeah.
So he goes and he sneaks over. He like says he's going to a sleepover at his friend's house,
Mhm.
and then he like sneaks over to this other girl's house, and he watches the show with her. And the show was like this 90s villain of the week campy show about two like teenage girls that met at a summer camp one summer, and then they have a psychological connection.
Wow.
And then they never meet each other in person after the pilot.
Mhm.
They only see each other through the astral plane, and they work together to fight like villains of their county.
Yeah.
So it's like this really like campy 90s show, and I feel like they nailed the aesthetic for it. So they both like fall in love with this show. And then we cut to about like 3 years later or something, and now they're both in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And over like the past 3 years, the guy's like, you know, I can't stay up. So the girl, she starts like recording all the episodes on VHS for him and
Sure.
leaving for him at the school.
Sure.
So he keeps leaving the episodes, and they like keep like talking about the show and all that.
Mhm.
They like bond over the show.
Yeah.
And then eventually, we cut to one night, and they're watching one of the episodes, and she's like, her dad's like abusive, and like the main guy's mom is like dying, and his dad's like very distant, so like, they both have like terrible family lives.
Yeah.
But they're like watching like it one night, and she's like, "Let's run away. Let's get away from the town." She's like, "I feel like I'm gonna die if I stay here."
Yeah.
They're like, "Okay, next week Sunday, pack all you can, and we'll run away." And he goes and he leaves that night, and then he goes to the house of the friend he's been pretending to sleep over. Is like, you have to tell my parents that I've been lying to them. I can't like run away. So he doesn't run away. He stays there. But the girl, she runs away from her home. She leaves the TV burning in her background in her backyard, and the line says like, she left in July and the show was canceled the same month. It was so sad. And then
That's where the movie ends?
that's not where the movie ends. We cut to 8 years later, and the guy is working like a middle of end job at like a
Oh, he's middle end, not dead end.
Middle end, right.
Okay.
I forgot about the middle end.
I forgot about that.
You got the high end jobs, you got the alive end jobs, and you got the dead end jobs.
I
But
forgot.
there's the middle end.
the middle end. Yeah.
Middle end jobs, right?
He's like working at like a movie theater, and he is like, okay. He's like unhappy, and he's standing in a supermarket one night, and he looks behind him and he sees the girl, because he hasn't seen her for 8 years.
Because she ran away and
Right.
chickened out.
Yes. So, yeah.
Because he's a pussy.
So they talk to each other, and then the girl's like, "Do you remember the show that we used to watch, The Pink Opaque?" And then she's like, "Did it ever feel like too real to you?"
It was about them.
So
Wait, what?
she goes and she does this big speech about like how I ran away. I ran to like New Mexico or something. I got a new name.
BoJack Horseman.
Breaking Bad.
Albuquerque.
I started working at a Build-A-Bear workshop, but it felt like years were passing in seconds. Time was so weird. I was
But does
so
he turn into a deer?
unhappy.
That's actually assault on my own horse. I'm gonna I watch BoJack.
You never watched BoJack Horseman? So that happens, and she's like,
Yeah.
she's freaking out. She is like, this is like not what it should be like. And
Interesting.
eventually, what she does, the main girl is gay, and she like was like, like there's no like relationship there, and I thought that was cool. It's mostly just like between
Friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have that. She's eventually like, I started freaking out, and what she does is she digs a 6-foot grave outside, like the mall she works at. She buys a coffin. She goes to the coffin and she pays someone she works $50 to bury her in the coffin.
Yeah.
And like pack the dirt tightly, and then she gets stuck in this coffin, and then she's like freaking out, and then eventually she says that she wakes up, and she wakes up in the season finale of The Pink Opaque as one of the characters, because in the season finale of the show, both characters like were buried alive. So eventually she did that. She like psychologically broke, and then she got out of the coffin, and that's when she started driving back, because she believes that the other guy is
The other.
that they're both like, what is it? It's so in the show there's this moon guy, and he makes both the girls in the show drink the moon juice, and the moon juice and then it buries them alive. And what she says is the moon juice put them in a psychological like trance, and that's the world they're in right now. So they need to both bury themselves alive to break out of the psychological trance and get back into the world where they're like psychic crime fighters.
Yeah, I think she needs
Fighting the Moon Man. So they do that, and then she's like, okay, we need to bury ourselves alive
Again.
to, you know, go back into the TV and fight the Moon Man.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and they're walking. And they're like, she has the grave dug outside the football field. And they're like, okay, let's go do it. They start walking down the football field. And he's like, you know, I feel it. And then he just pushes her to the ground and starts running away. And he says, I never saw her again. And then we cut to 20 years later. We just go through a montage of his life where it's like, his dad died. He eventually married someone. And now he's just working at some random amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, not amusement park, like an arcade.
Wait, did he pushed her into the...
No, he just pushed her to the ground on the football field while they were walking
okay.
at the grave.
Okay.
The grave's still open at the end of, like, we see the open grave and like the time cut. So we don't ever like know what happens to her.
until.
So all that happens, and now he's sad, and then he decides to now in his 40s or something. They added the show to Netflix. You know, he used to just watch it VHS tapes and all that. Yeah. He decides to rewatch the show on Netflix, and he realizes how bad the show is. He's like, the show was that we see the same scene earlier in the movie where it's this insanely scary ice cream man with face melting, but then we see the same scene again, and it's a lot more power, that Power Ranger style of bad acting and bad CGI. Kind of looks like that.
I mean, good acting and good CGI.
Okay, yeah, sure. So we cut to that, and then eventually he's working at the thing.
What type of job? Dead end, middle end?
Dead end.
Okay.
So he's gone from middle end to a dead end.
So he's just never climbed the corporate ladder.
Yeah, no, he is working.
No, he's climbing down.
Why?
Yeah, and then it's cool because at the arcade they just have some random Space Invaders ripoff based on the show, and I thought that was cool, just that. And then eventually the final scene of the show is he's laying in the bathroom, and then he grabs a box cutter and he cuts his chest open and he tears it open, and all you see is the TV static, and then that's the end of the movie.
So what happened?
Okay, I'll explain.
So why is this your movie?
This is my movie of the
It
year.
does not sound better than Dune 2.
This
This does not sound better than Dune 2. I'm agreeing
It
with
sounds
Nick.
it's a good movie. It does not sound better than Dune 2.
Okay.
It sounds interesting, but I just don't know what the... Okay.
Okay, Alex, because earlier in the movie he has this thing about how he feels empty inside, there's nothing there. If you were to open me up,
So did any of this movie happen?
yes. So
what you're saying is that she was right.
no.
Okay, but does anything...
The girl was wrong. Here's what it is. This is a movie about how our love of TV shows and movies can affect us a lot.
Yeah, I know.
That's how I read it.
Go to the nice finale of the Owl House.
Okay, so it's this movie about how you have these two high schoolers. Their life sucks, but they're able to enjoy every Sunday night this really campy 90s show, and they fall in love with it, and it's really cool. And then we cut ahead to later in life where the girl is just so fed up with how terrible life is and how boring it is and having to work the dead-end job at Build-A-Bear.
I thought that would be a middle-end job.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked a job that...
I've never worked a job. They're all middle-end, right?
Yeah, anyway.
But the girl is just she can't accept that life is this bad, so she has to rationalize in her mind that it must be fake and she must be the girl from the TV show.
Right.
Pretty impressive though that she buried herself alive and got out.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive.
Almost makes you think she was on the moon.
And then she goes and is like so like convinced about this because her life pretty much sucks, and she needs someone else to like believe her with it. So she goes to the guy with that she was talking about. Is like, we were meant to be these two girls from the TV show.
So she's crazy.
Stupid.
She as a really cool idea. But also the guy is just like, I feel like he is also really cool. Where he also sucks. He's working this like terrible job at a movie theater. He's not enjoying his life. So he desperately wants to believe her in being like that they were both from this TV show. But he can't. But he can't like accept that, and like he doesn't believe her. That's why he pushes her away and refuses to like do the coffin thing. But I feel like the final scene was also really great when he like cuts himself open, because he cut it open and you see the TV, and like the TV represents how like he feels hollow inside, but he still has this idea of being from this TV show and having all these powers and like being important. And that's like who he wants to be, and that's who he wants to be on the inside. And I thought that was a really cool thing.
So he killed himself.
He didn't kill himself. Like, that was like metaphor.
It's a more metaphorical.
Yeah.
This explanation of this movie is really giving me vertigo.
You're telling me this is better than The Matrix?
This is
This is really giving me vertigo.
okay.
right
You
now.
guys need to like actually watch these movies. Like, this is like one of those movies, like, you know, like that like have a confusing ending. Like it had a confusing ending, but like I was able to like get it.
You know what had a confusing ending? Vertigo.
Okay, but let me just say, this is like my movie of the year.
I can see why. It sounds like an interesting movie, and I definitely want to see it since I want to.
Dude, the most annoying thing was, they're only showing it in like very few theaters. Like it's out of theaters now. Like I saw it Tuesday and it's already out of theaters.
That's
That's on the
crazy.
streaming platforms.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well,
Hopefully.
we're gonna have to try and make Robot Dreams when that comes out,
Dude, we definitely will.
and then the Muppet movie. When
But yeah, this is definitely my movie of the year. I recommend everyone watch it.
we'll see. Mine.
Hopefully, I'm able to write a review that does it a lot more justice than what I just said.
Well, let's talk about Vertigo, because is that the last thing you watched?
That is the last thing.
So me and Beck
Vertigo.
went back to the Hitchcock thing.
I said on Vertigo.
We saw Vertigo, but we've seen Vertigo before, and our opinions were lowered.
Yeah.
Like before,
Lowered.
our opinions of Rear Window were higher.
Yeah.
For a middle-end job, they were hired, and but they were lowered this time for Vertigo.
Wow.
We've talked about Vertigo before. I don't really want to get into it very much, but it kind of was not as.
Yeah. It kind of just. It feels like.
It went on for too long.
Someone once told me that was their like favorite movie ever, and I'm like, I don't understand that.
It went on for too long. It was kind of predictable, like immediately.
Yeah.
There were stupid
Yeah, of
decisions
course it's predictable
made
if
by
you're
the
watching it
characters.
again.
No, but like it was extra predictable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then like the ending sucks.
Yeah. It is.
The
It
ending
is
is such a
crazy that the
confusing
woman
ending.
dies because she got scared by some random shadow.
Yeah.
No, like
But it's a
no,
metaphor
it's
for
a,
something.
it's a random shadow.
For
She falls off,
What's
and
a
then it's
metaphor?
like the guy's like, "Oh no!" and then immediately cut to lively music for credits. It's so weird.
It's a metaphor for something, probably.
Or guilt, probably.
Damn. Well, but it was we watched it again.
I still think Beck gave it too low of a score.
What did you give it?
2.5.
That's what you give Garfield.
No, I gave
No, I gave Garfield 2.
Oh.
Damn.
So it's better than Garfield.
Okay, well, this is how we're gonna end the podcast. Vertigo
I have-
is as good as
I have things to talk
Garfield.
Okay, but
Fine.
did you know that the intro to Vertigo is one of the first computer-generated intros ever made?
You could tell.
about. Dal.
Are you gonna lead into
Wait,
something,
Nick-
Nicola?
Yeah, Nicola, do you have anything that you watched?
I actually have watched a couple of things. I don't think I ever actually talked about watching the conclusion to my favorite series on YouTube. No CGI, it's actually invisible CGI.
Whoa!
Okay, I gotta bring up my list. I'm not gonna actually talk about that. That episode was good, and it was basically just like concluding the series, and it was pretty good. I recommend watching that. I'm pretty sure I watched Adventure Time. Let me make sure.
That's favorite show.
Yeah, I watched
Avatar: The Way of Water.
My parents have been watching stuff.
Of a musical. I fucking knows musical just from the thumbnail. My brain is so rotted. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
So I watched. I think I was already on I Am a Sword. So I finished I Am a Sword.
All right, wait. I'm gonna get some water. You guys talk about.
I Am a Sword is low key. That's yeah. And it's kind of depressing, but yeah.
So talk about it.
So basically he has depression because his soul died because his soul was a sword and his sword got kidnapped and then killed.
Yep.
So
And now he's sad.
I know he's sad. So that's kind of builds up for a later episode. Next is Bun Bun. Bun Bun's good because he makes up with his fucking with his ex that he kind of fucked over. He was kind of in a bad relationship because he was kind of a bit,
But now they're
kind of an ass.
buddies.
But now he's shown character development over the course of 4 seasons.
No way.
Now he's a good person now, and he actually has developed as a person that is as mature. Next is Normal Man. This is great. This is basically when Magic Man comes back and then they go to Mars.
They already went to Mars.
No, this isn't where they go to Mars.
Well, at the end they go to Mars. Magic Man.
No, this is the one where Tiny Manicore.
Yeah.
This is where Tiny Manicore kidnaps God.
Yeah.
You know.
And then at the end he goes to Mars.
Yeah.
And then we have Elemental. That's the Elemental.
Yo, that's the Pixar movie.
Shut up.
That's the Ice Elemental, and she's like,
Yeah.
you guys can all do stuff, and then Princess Bubblegum farts out jelly beans,
Yeah.
and
Thanks, Patience Saint Tim. Why is that her name? Who knows?
then we have 5 short tables.
Whoa!
You'll never guess what the theme between these 5 things were.
There's also legs as a table.
Nope, they were just different tables. And it's about the fucking Ice King had 5 short stories in the Fiona and Cake universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started The Music Hole, which is about basically, remember how Finn was depressed because he killed himself? Now he is trying to get over it.
Ooh.
Getting over it.
Reboot soon. You're close to Islands.
All right, what else did you watch?
So I also watched the first hour and 40 minutes of Dune Part 2 again.
Yeah.
So Nicola, how is this better than I saw at TV Glow?
How's this
So-
better than Ricky Stinney?
I'm slowly putting together my reasoning for why I really like this.
I think you gotta finish the movie first.
Yeah,
before
I
you
know.
explain it.
And in my letterbox, I'm gonna explain everything in my letterbox.
Oh.
I'm gonna have a full-fledged review. But I can already
I'm
start
about
off
to
by
write
saying,
up like a 4-page essay.
I actually might. I genuinely
I
might.
hope you do.
Part of why I like this so much, I said this briefly to them in the theater, is it's kind of similar to Revenge of the Sith, which is my favorite Star Wars movie. So
That is the best one.
yeah,
Well, Aiden was telling me he's a big Last Jedi fan.
no,
That was you.
That's you. You're fine.
No, I
I like
Beck,
episode
Beck, go
5
take a
and
walk.
6.
Go take a walk.
why
Go take a walk.
Burger
Beck.
app in your life?
Mr. Beast.
In your movie folder.
No, this is just folder of apps I use regularly.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
To regular.
But Nicola. But Nicola, yeah?
I used to.
But Dune 2?
Yeah, and then I watched. I'm gonna talk more about Dune 2 when I finish it and have my review. I also watched Formula One Drive to Survive.
Wait, what? What's the show?
So this one's about Formula One, and
Wait,
I watched a
what?
couple episodes about how about Ferrari.
How about
and
Max
stuff.
Verstappen?
That wasn't in this couple episodes. It's a good episode. Again, good show. It's good. If you like F1, watch it.
If you like Colts, watch it.
Oh, I watched Madam Web.
Oh my god.
We all love Madam.
Okay,
Web.
then-
Walked
okay,
out
that's,
halfway through.
okay,
like,
that's
Aiden.
legitimately my favorite movie of the year.
That was last year. No.
No,
Dude, I feel like
Madam Web. So
I feel like Garfield topped Madam Web for like the funnest movie experience.
yeah.
Well, that's fun. Yeah. Top funnest movie, but I think I'd rather watch
Madam Web
again.
is-
Yeah, I would rather watch Madam Web.
But Garfield's a better movie.
Madam Web is actually, I completely agree. It is so bad. It is funny. It is on the -10 to 10 scale, a -6.
Yeah.
It is,
Maybe a -7.
no, it's negative.
No?
For me, it's a -6. It's not.
Well, you
it's
saw it
not
by
that
yourself.
bad.
You didn't watch it.
yeah, no,
Watch
watching it
with
with
my
friends.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I watch it with my family, and my family are not very critically skilled at films. For example,
They like Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon is just like Star Wars. But even they were able to point out that the dialogue was very disconnected and nothing really made sense.
But who cares when we have Sydney Sweeney?
Real?
And who cares? Like her mom died in the Amazon while researching spiders.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they literally have as the Netflix description?
Yes. Overall, it was so bad. It was funny. It really was.
What was
so
your
bad,
favorite
it was
part?
when she just inexplicably splits into 3 ghost legs. No, it's
What
when
about when the
fucking-
Pepsi sign falls?
Yeah, it is when the Pepsi sign falls. I really like.
He
the
just
Pepsi
goes-
sign.
Pepsi. And then it died. It's great.
And it's so awful because like his dream was like always like getting thrown out of building, and it's like no, his dream was the Pepsi.
Oh my god.
So, what else did I watch? I could have sworn I watched something else. I also watched Monsters University.
Let's go. So
Yay,
Nikolai,
better
So
film.
basically, my math class was doing a potluck, and then we were just watching a movie because I was done with the year and we're just reviewing for the final. And somebody was like, "Oh, we should watch Monsters University because a lot of the seniors are graduating and going to university." The teacher was like. So then we watched.
this teacher's a genius, Nikolai.
I know. So we watched it, and it's
Oh, is the Jim Henson? When is that? I don't know. Look, when is it?
May 31st. The
Are you trying to remember the plot of Monsters University?
We already explained it.
so basically, yeah. So it's just a better.
Dude, all you did was look at the photo for 2 seconds. Why did you need that? What's the point of pulling it up on your phone?
He had confirmation.
I need confirmation.
You didn't remember which movie Monsters University
He was all like,
was.
did I watch this movie? Okay, I watched this movie. Okay, I get it.
Okay, so basically, Monsters University.
We explained it like 2 weeks ago.
That's Monsters at Work.
It's better than Monsters.
No.
I chose the backstory of all the characters. Like before, and it's just a good movie overall, and I think it is better than the original Monsters.
I don't know.
Hayden, you have 3 people that are just pro-university.
Are you pro university?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I really don't think so. Well, when did you watch Ink last, Beck?
No, I watched Ink, and then the same night I watched University.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's all I
I
watched.
don't know.
Okay, Aiden, close us off.
Okay, so aside
Guys, there's something I've been wanting to say.
What?
There's something that I need to do. I need to somehow pirate a film.
Oh.
Do you have any idea on how to do that?
So, and in my quest to watch all of the movies that Disney made based on rides, I'm now, instead of watching the Country Bear Jamboree movie, Mission to Mars movie, and Tomorrowland movie, I'm deciding to do Pirates first.
Oh, let's go.
So I have seen the first Pirates before. That's the only of the Pirates movies I've seen. So I've rewatched it. That's a solid movie. That's a good ass movie. You've all seen Pirates?
No, I've not seen a
Who
single
has not
Pirates.
You
seen-
haven't seen it?
I have.
I've not
You
seen
haven't seen it?
You guys haven't seen
What the
Pirates?
fuck?
I haven't seen any
Don't
Pirates.
worry,
not
Aiden. We'll
seen
watch
Pirates of the
Tomorrowland, the better film.
You
No
have
way.
not watched Pirates of the Caribbean, one of the greatest films ever made.
I need to change. I
The
rated
original one?
I rated it a 4.
Yeah,
Well,
the
I rated
original
it
one
a
is
4
good.
and a half.
I haven't seen any single Pirates movie.
Okay, I've only seen the first. The first one's really good. The second one I've heard is pretty good, and then it kind of falls off. from
Okay,
there.
but don't
I
worry.
think
I
all
watched
of
an
them are-
analysis scene of
Wait,
the Liar's
one
Dice
second.
scene.
I know there's
Let
a
me pull
Davy
up-
Jones, and like that's a really
That's
big.
like the 4th movie.
Wait,
That's like so.
He
late.
shows up in the 4th movie?
Davy Jones is late.
let me pull it up exactly.
Of like what?
Of like all the.
Oh my god, Uri.
Maybe not, Uri.
Okay.
So you got the original Pirates of the Caribbean. That's a goated film. Then you have Dead Man's Chest.
Yep.
That's the no. That's already the one with Davy Jones because that's the whole point is that Davy Jones' heart is the dead man's chest.
Oh,
But in the end of that movie, Jack Sparrow.
Don't spoil it.
I don't want to spoil it, but it's a good ending, and it leads directly into the next movie because and that's basically next one is at World's End, and I wonder what happens at World's End. They go to the World's End. Then we have, I don't know if I've ever watched On Stranger Tides. I've watched every single other one. I don't think I've watched On Stranger Tides.
But Aiden,
That's the
so
first
how's
one.
the first
But the
movie?
newest one,
Well, I
Arts the
don't really wanna
Caribbean,
explain it, though.
Dead Men Tell No's Tale is not bad at all. Like it's actually one of the better like newer versions of the story.
Well, I don't really want to explain what happens in the Pirates movie.
if you haven't seen it, yeah,
Yeah,
How was the movie?
It's so good.
really good.
It's pretty much
He's only killing half a baby.
It's a swashbuckling good time.
How like Iron Man 1 looks.
Yeah,
Imagine that, but like better CGI.
but like pirates.
But like skeleton pirates.
But
No, I'm not kidding. It's actually
It's
goated.
really good.
what about dead skeleton pirates?
They're not dead. They're immortal.
It's actually no. I'm telling you, it's actually really good. It has a really good story. It has really good music.
Really
It
good
has
action.
really good visual.
Really good characters. Really good acting. Like Johnny Depp kills it.
Genuinely.
I have something else I gotta say, or two things I gotta say.
It stays true to the Bride. Like there's a lot that's taken.
I think was the ride made before or after?
Yeah, Bride was made first.
Really?
Yes, that's the whole thing that I'm doing.
Oh.
Is that the movie's
I
based on the
genuinely
Bride?
never knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, because they update the ride for the new
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
That's what I can get.
They update the rides.
Yeah.
They don't update them very much because a lot of the stuff
No,
was
yeah,
already
I get
there.
it, yeah.
Like the dog scene and
So how did they already know he was gonna look like? How did they already know Jack Sparrow was gonna look like?
but in afterwards. But a lot of it was taken from the ride, put into the movie. It's pretty faithful to that, even though there wasn't really a story in the original ride. But now there is, and it looks very good.
Yeah.
The new Pirates rides are based on the movies, like the one in Tokyo and Shanghai. But
Yeah.
good ass movie,
Right.
like really really solid movie. I would really recommend you
No,
watch.
genuinely, it's like a must watch. Like you have to watch it.
Like this is like quintessential. Like
Also,
2000.
CGI literally peaked with Davy Jones. So also watch the rest of the Pirates movies.
I am going to.
No,
I'll
genuinely.
try to do like one a week.
No, 'cause I'm not even kidding. Davy Jones is the best piece of CGI ever made.
He looks really awesome. I know what he looks like. And Jack Sparrow.
What about the dubbing for Madam Web? I feel like that was good.
That's pretty good.
Dude, that villain, you could tell that they put so much work into making sure.
I also really, I genuinely, I realized when I was watching it, I was like, he has said the exact same two lines. That's like, he only says two lines in the entire movie.
girls, and I'm gonna die someday.
Yes, genuinely. And he says those two lines 20 times. He says nothing else in the entire film.
Exactly.
And then the best piece of CGI is when they're running through the forest. It's so fucking good.
Dude, what about when the car drives through the brick wall and hits the guy midair?
Oh my god. I
that
actually
he jumps
burst out
in.
laughing. I was like, why the fuck did he jump
Dude,
up?
me and Aiden burst into laughing in the middle of the
I was
theater.
like, why did he jump up? Is
Yeah, believe that. Speaking of saying slurs, I watched season 1 and 2 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Let's go.
I've been recommended
Good
this show
show.
by my coworkers, and you know what? It's really fucking funny. Charlie Day's really funny as Charlie in the show. All the characters are great. This is like peak Danny DeVito performance here. He's really funny in it. He doesn't show up until season 2. So season 1 and 2 and season 3, because I started that, all feel like they're shot on a fucking camcorder they bought from Walmart in like 2005, and it's really funny.
Wait, am I right in saying this is just like the longest running sitcom?
Longest running American sitcom. Yep.
Why season
16.
Oh.
No, it's not like in like season count, right?
There was 8 in season 1, 10 in season 2, but then they go up to like 20s.
Oh, so it's like Adventure Time.
I should watch
Episodes are
it.
much longer.
I see so many out of context clips and it's so funny.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
So here, let me just go through. Can I go through the episode list of like season 1, just like the titles?
Got it, yeah.
Yeah, like what I do with Adventure Time.
Like,
That we all love.
all right.
Like what I do with Monsters University.
Here are the names of the episodes of season 1. The gang gets racist. Charlie wants an abortion.
Holy shit.
Underage drinking, a national concern.
Holy shit.
Charlie has cancer.
Holy shit.
Gun fever.
Holy shit.
The gang finds a dead guy.
Holy shit.
Charlie gets molested.
Holy shit. This sounds amazing.
Here's,
Oh, Smiling Friend. We have to talk about it.
oh yeah, but here's the season 2 episodes. Charlie gets crippled.
Why do they?
Charlie's getting fucked.
The gang goes jihad. You know how to say it. It's like,
Jihad.
Dennis and Dee go on welfare. Mac bangs Dennis's mom.
So real.
$100 baby. The gang gives back. The gang exploits a miracle. The gang runs for office. Charlie goes America all over everybody's ass. Dennis and Dee get a new dad, and the one episode of season 3 I saw is the gang finds a dumpster baby.
What happened to Charlie in season 3?
He like digs through garbage.
Yeah, it's a great show from what I've heard.
It's really funny.
Is it better than The Office?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Like,
it's not really a high
definitely
bar.
funnier than The Office.
Not really.
I mean, The Office is really good.
I mean, it's not really a high bar.
I mean, The Office only.
Keep in mind, I watched the
seasons?
first 10 minutes of the first episode of The Office, so this is why I know it's that worst show ever.
But what's the best show ever made? Smiling Friends.
So yeah, just Smiling Friends.
So I really like Alan as a character. We got an Alan episode. Alan needs to go get some paper clips. Hijinks ensue. It was kind of boring. I didn't really like it.
What? You're saying the guy stealing the paper clips, jumping into the helicopter, running away from the U.S. military, and getting shot down wasn't interesting?
I mean, it was animated really well.
Dude, it was so good.
Yeah.
You're saying the guy playing Burnout 2, smoking weed and filling his belly with pop soda wasn't amazing? Don't drop the ball. You're gonna crack it.
You crack your balls.
I know. Bill wants my ball.
Okay, but here's the plot of this episode. Alan, he needs to get paper clips for the office. And he goes... And he goes to this guy, and the guy's like, I would give you my paper clips, but these paper clips are the exact shape to activate any piece of technological thing in my store. And he's like, isn't your nose the exact same shape as the paper? They're like, oh my god,
That's
that's
a
so
terrible
great.
Alan impression. But excuse me if that is rude.
No, that's not my Alan expression, it's the shop owner expression.
No, but Alan is like, excuse me if that's rude, sir. But isn't your nose the shape of the paper clips?
Okay, yeah, that's a better Alan
Yeah.
impression. But he gets the thing, he's like, okay, cool, I have it. But then, the guy from Frowning Friends, the SoundCloud rapper, who said, get out of my head.
Get out of my head, man! Get out of my head, man!
He shows up back again and steals the paper clips. And he gets into a helicopter, and he's running away from the U.S. military. They send in the F-14s. They go, they try to shoot him down, he dies.
No.
Oh. He doesn't die?
He does die.
He does die.
Yeah.
But it's so sad, 'cause that was my favorite character.
Wow.
But then, the claymation pirates end up stealing the paper collapse, so Alan has to wakeboard on the back of their ship to get it back. He eventually opens the paperclip and just says, come to this apartment building to get this paperclip back. And then it turns out it's his apartment building. And then the landlord that we saw in the beginning of the episode is like, it was all right, Alan. I planned the entire thing. It cost me $750,000 and 6 months of planning. But now I finally have you in my clutches, so we can play Burnout 2 on the PS2, smoke weed and fill our bellies.
No, it was smoke weed and fill our bellies with
diet soda.
diet soda while playing Burnout 2 on the PS2.
And they do that, and then it turns out it's like Alan's like, sir, I don't really want to do that. And was like, I have a bomb strapped to my chest. I will blow up this entire
Yeah, and then he disables the bomb.
using one of the paper clips because the shop owner died and was a ghost haunting him, giving him advice.
Rip.
And overall, I think it was actually my second favorite episode of the season.
Yeah.
I think the Gwimbley one was a bit better.
It was also my second favorite episode of the season. I just think the season's kind of not as good as the first
I feel like this and the Gwimbley one are on par with season 1 episode.
Oh, Gimbley definitely is.
The
See-
Alan one, I don't think so.
I think the second one was my least favorite of like the entire show.
Of the entire show,
What's your least favorite?
the Halloween episode.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
I mean, the ending is really funny, but just like
Yeah.
the episode overall.
Dude, you
What
did
is that
bat
episode?
blackface?
Dude.
That's not cool.
What's the episode where he goes to hell?
Charlie goes to hell and doesn't come back?
Yeah, that one. That's a good episode.
I like that.
But guys, I will end it off with the last ever
Officers.
Beck Lyons in focus story.
ever in focus.
Fuck.
Guys.
I have 2 stories.
Okay, make them quick because we still have to record the
We
other
do
episode,
still have
and then
to.
I have to drive to San Francisco. So-
Tonight?
Yes,
Why?
tonight. That's why I wanted to start it
Okay.
early. Be fast.
I had my final review roundup and entire package, which was the April review roundup. It went really well. It was pretty cool. And then it was really fun just seeing all the stuff. I was returning my library books today, and the librarian that had to like sign it off was like, you know, they sent out a survey of like what you like most about the books. I'm like, I loved all the packages, but I really liked the Beck Lyons in Focus movie reviews. And Aiden, specifically, she said my voiceover was very good.
Hell yeah! Sorry, I'm buying Planet Coaster right now.
Why are you buying Planet
It's
Coaster?
$2.
But oh my god.
It's $2.
But yeah. And literally I was like, you know, if you had seen some of my earlier works, you know I have not always been the best at doing voiceover.
No.
Yeah, guys, go watch this Fallout documentary.
Fallout documentary, yeah, if you want to see someone talk at 2x speed normally.
No
sitting-
breathing room. No breathing room.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
you gotta keep the attention span.
is that it?
No.
Okay.
Because, guys, the In Focus year-long recap.
Wow.
I helped edit it the night before, 6
Wow.
hours.
Incredible.
And I basically just did the intro and the outro. And I think it turned out really well.
Very good.
Did y'all you guys watch it?
Back. Okay,
I
one
did.
second. Before I saw it in the morning, and then during the film club, Beck was like, "I feel like I put myself in this too much," and I was like, "Weren't you in like 2 scenes?" And I looked through it, and he has, I think, a total runtime. How long is it? It's like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think you have about 5 seconds of screen time in it.
I would lean more around 2.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
too
no,
long.
my problem is when I was editing the credits, what I wanted to do was I wanted to do like this kind of like yearbook style where it was like every member of In Focus, their name, like a cutout of their photo, and then I wanted to have like sketches of all the different packages throughout the year.
Okay, but here's
And I had like 3 of my packages.
okay, but
on
here's
there.
the issue.
Like I had September 9th written on there. I had like the Atla arrow. I had like a film camera.
Okay, but that's because you made the most.
Yeah. You made the most peak.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So, what's the recommendation?
What's the recommendation?
I saw the TV.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I saw the TV glow. Please watch it.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Please.
I
watch
need
it.
this movie to succeed. It's so good.
Always use Celsius.
Oh,
See you in episode 80.
and invisible CGI is just real CGI.